Hey everyone, welcome to JoJo's World.
Hey, how we going? How we doing? We feeling okay? We feeling crisp?
Yeah, Dish, what's new, girlfriend?
Well, let me tell you a thing
I
or
wasn't
two.
talking to you, I was talking to the listener. You always do this.
Hey, if it's my podcast.
I'm Liam S. Smith, one of your co-hosts.
And I'm Nick Ballantyne, the other one of the co-hosts.
This is JoJo's World, our JoJo's Bizarre Adventure recap and discussion podcast, where we are recapping and discussing a little anime called Revolutionary Girl Utena.
Shit is flying off the damn wall today.
This is a show where you have 6 to 8 episodes where not much forward motion happens, and then all of a sudden everyone decides they want to know what's going on with everything.
And man, do we get to know a thing or two.
And man, do we get more questions than we do answers.
I like how at the start of this you said to me, "Oh, Nick, I reckon we're going to get some kind of flashback." And I went, "Oh, so we'll get some answers." And you went, "Or more questions."
And I think
We're right there.
mostly questions.
Well,
A couple of answers.
like two answers. Now we know who Mikage is.
And Mamiya.
Ooh. But we don't know much else.
We don't know really any of their whole deal.
Their motivations, still very sketchy.
Nick,
Yeah.
this episode of the show that we watch is entitled Nemuro Memorial Hall.
The name of the show? Or the episode?
The episode. The show is entitled Revolutionary Girl Utena.
Ah, the name of the episode is
Nemuro Memorial Hall.
I see now. What's so special about Nemuro Memorial Hall?
Well, I'll tell you later.
Yeah, right.
Do we have a Patreon to talk about?
I thought you'd never ask. I thought you were fully against this idea of the Patreon shoutouts that we normally do. But here I am, shown up once again.
Nick, that was a lie, and I'm suing you for defamation.
Well,
You'll be hearing from my lawyer.
that's absolutely fair because I know who my lawyer is going to be, and that lawyer just so happens to be our latest patron.
Oh, that's convenient.
Yes, who is
Who may or may not be a lawyer.
Shumik Hassin,
Hello.
who I may or may not have completely butchered the name of.
Yeah, if we got that wrong, just send us an email and we'll say it again right.
Or will
That's the JoJo's World promise.
Oh, you're opening the floodgates now.
Only in this specific context.
If anyone else sends us a name and it's like, oh, actually, you mispronounced my name.
Don't correct me. I'm always right about dumb anime.
Oh no, my name isn't Peter Jones. It's actually Queef Johnson. And you'd be like, oh god, we can't say that on air. We can't do this on air. Or can we?
Yeah, we better pull the plug on this whole damn operation.
But not on Shumik Hassin.
Thank you.
And thank you for your support.
We like to party. We like to party.
Is the Vengabus coming?
And everybody's jumping.
Nemuro Memorial Hall.
Memorial Hall. And that's what we call singing in a round. Because you started doing it and then like
A beat later?
Yeah.
But if we did it with 4 people,
Then we would all be saying Nemuro Memorial Hall.
I never understood the rounds. I never got it. I always heard people doing it from their music room.
Their so-called music room where they play the piano with Anthe Himamea.
But like, I don't get it. Why do you do it? Why do you sing in rounds? What's the point?
I guess it's a fun exercise in singing and
Out
it
of
sounds
time.
nice.
But it's like la 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 la, and it's like, yeah, but why don't you all just do it at the same time? Saves us the effort of having to go, again in a second round, which they always did. Like, I don't understand why you do it, right?
Hey, if you're a singer, you want to do fun things with singing.
That's
you don't
true.
always want to see the same song the same way. And you can't see songs because they're sound. It reminds me of that bit in that Star Trek movie, which I haven't seen, which could be any of them.
Okay.
where-
Because you haven't seen a single one? Question mark?
Yeah.
Great.
It's
Okay.
Captain Kirk, Mr. Spock, and Dr. Doctor.
Yep. I'm with you.
And they're all sitting around a campfire. I'm told. I have not
this-
seen the movie.
New Star Trek or old Star
Old
Trek?
Star Trek.
Oh, okay.
And they're talking about how much they love singing Row, Row, Row Your Boat. I guess because
Okay.
it's in public domain.
I guess.
And then they all do that in a round. Or so I'm told.
Interesting. Okay.
Because that's what good movies are about. Singing public domain songs for no discernible reason.
Is Danny Boy public domain?
Yes.
Is that why every single episode of Lana and Woodley they made a Danny Boy reference?
Of course, that Nick is referring to The Adventures of Lana and Woodley, a
1990s,
90s era
yep.
sitcom on Australian television starring Colin Lane and Frank Woodley, which made frequent use of the song Oh Danny Boy.
Which I always found really confusing because I would have thought, I don't get why they keep singing this one song. But it all makes sense now.
It's all falling into place. Just like the events of Revolutionary Girl Utena's Black Rose arc are beginning to fall into place in my genius brain.
In the sense that now you have more questions.
Now I've got more data, and I'm sure, like, I'll sit up bolt upright in the middle of the night and say, like, oh, Mikage wants to revolutionize the world.
He has no other choice. He has no other choice. You'd look desperately for a
I start
notepad.
running through the street, wearing only merely my dressing gown, screaming about the Black Rose.
I stand from my balcony wearing a dressing gown, smoking a pipe, going, yes, Liam, his only choice was to revolutionize the world.
That's the sound of sucking on a pipe.
Ironically, the way to make that sound is by blowing not on a pipe.
That is ironic. Nick,
Yeah?
the truth behind Nemuro Memorial Hall's dark history lies shrouded in mystery. As
A dark mystery lies shrouded in mystery. Really?
dark history
Oh.
lies shrouded in mystery. But much like the opening lyrics, or some lyrics, to the DuckTales theme song, not the opening lyrics indeed, some lyrics,
Yep.
those words rhyme. This is the cause of sort of trenchant media insights that they come to JoJo's world for.
I was going to say, it's like many things in life, very specifically, though, this one example, it rhymes.
The truth behind Nemuro Memorial Hall's dark history lies shrouded in mystery. As Mikage is down to his last Black Rose, he stakes his last hopes on allying with Utena. Which I don't know if that was necessarily explicit in the episode.
I don't think that happened
but
at all.
That's what the game is.
That's what
now.
IMDb says. That's where we're at.
And turning away from our dark Amazon-owned master IMDb, the Internet Movie Database,
Yeah.
I turn instead to the production notes from Ikehara.
Hit me with those notes.
My visual image here was So Kitamaru's play Aoi Susei no Ichiya, or A Blue Comet Night.
Nice.
I came across that piece during my student days, when I was going to plays all the time in search of something post-Terayama. A conservatory made of glass. A swarm of researchers in white coats in the adjacent sanatorium. What could their research be about? Is that night the eve of the world's destruction? When they eventually look up, a comet streaks across the sky before their eyes. Is it the flash of light heralding the world's destruction? That's what the play was about. Brackets, I think, but I could be wrong.
Just like all art, it's up for interpretation, and we don't know if we're right or wrong ever.
The carts that kept appearing are icons of death. He's talking about how in this episode we keep seeing like people in lab coats pushing carts with bodies on them.
Ah, lab coats of death.
No, carts of death.
Carts of death.
The carts that kept appearing are icons of death, perpetually stuck in the corners of your vision. The background art skillfully depicts a transcendental realm.
Ooh, the death realm. The shadow.
There is a little 3 here for an annotation, but I don't have access to that annotation, so I guess we'll never know. A place where time seems to have stopped. A dreamlike place. A transcendental realm is a realm where the end of the world manifests itself.
Oh my god.
The meaning of the pointing fingers? Question mark?
Did you say the meaning or the memeing?
The meaning. But also the memeing of the pointing fingers is strong in this episode.
Oh yes, I am almost certain that we could pull any frame with those pointing fingers.
And it would be a new meme.
Oh yeah.
The meaning of the pointing fingers? They're telling you that there's someone controlling the laws of this world.
What? What?
Ellipsis? Just kidding.
What? What's he trying to say?
So, I'm sure we'll discuss at length, there's a lot of sequences in this episode where a flashing, pointing finger is on the screen, pointing at objects, including cats through the window,
the small teacup.
a smear of lipstick on a small teacup.
Or empty space.
No, always something specific.
Wait, what was the big one then? The doorway?
What are you talking about?
There was a big pointing
There was
finger.
always something it was pointing at.
Yeah, the big empty space. It like went sideways.
And of course, it is the same pointing finger iconography that we see on the cards on the chairs in present-day Nemuro Memorial Hall, pointing people to go get brainwashed.
I see.
What does that mean?
Something therapy.
Your
something?
boy Liam does not know.
But boy, is he gonna think about it.
Boy, am I gonna find out with my brain. I'm on no sleep, Nick.
You said that with such confidence as well. You were like, I'm gonna find out with my brain. Cause I'm goddamn motherfucker Liam here.
Nick,
Yes.
this episode,
Entitled
Nemuro Memorial Hall. We open with a shot of our mysterious Sky Castle prince living on the orb that he lives on.
Which I believe we could now say is spherical, but very Christmas-like. It's like a big bauble, isn't it? It's got
Yeah, I
It's
guess.
got big old things on
It's
it.
got like a rose icon on it because everything here does.
Yeah, that's true. I guess that is technically a rose.
And there's an hourglass that has no time running in it.
Ooh.
And Akio is there looking at him, as we saw in that one flashback episode. And he's like, yep, I sure am here.
So-
He was basically just like, he's run out of he's down to his last black rose. What will he do now?
He gonna cop out or chip in? Hoo-hoo. What
The
is
real question is whether he himself will fight. So this is a good sequence. It's Anthe in the garden doing her gardening.
Yep, the
but it's
greenhouse.
also all the student council members finally deciding to look into who keeps brainwashing their loved ones so they can pull swords out of them.
Or rather, it's just them going, so who is doing it? And Nanami going, yeah, who keeps attacking Lieutenant Tenjo?
Well, no, they go, we have to find out who they are at once. And then there's like shots of them all in like the library's records room looking through things. They're not trying to take the Rose Bride. They're trying to kill her. Like, this is the reaction we've been waiting for like 8 episodes.
Jury's like, what the fuck
Jury-
could be going on
Yeah,
here?
jury's looking at a big stack of books being like, as student council members, it's our job to maintain campus security, apparently.
Strong ethics. That's what's the name of the game.
So I want to pull that exact quote.
Okay.
It goes without saying that maintaining campus security is our job as student council members and representatives of the enforcement division.
Now what I was wondering about that bit. What is this enforcement division?
Is this like how in like manga and like high school manga and shit?
Yeah.
In things said in Japanese, there's like the student member who is on like the ethics committee or whatever, and like gives people infringements for their uniforms being not right.
Potentially.
I saw something like that in Daily Lives of High School Boys.
Question.
Yes.
What is Daily Lives of High School
That
Boys?
is a comedic slice of life anime that I watched like 12 years ago.
Oh, okay, cool. We're fine then.
Then Nanami's up on top of a ladder, perhaps the very same ladder that she made Keiko sit on during the party. Looking through records, being like, who are these damn people? And then we're treated to a variant of them all going up the lift, holding books and shit.
And I think Jury's like, you're just angry because they took on Tenjo, right? Not Tenjo.
No, because they
Kiri.
targeted your brother.
Yeah, because they targeted your brother. And she's like, shut up.
Yeah, I am, so what? They trick ordinary students into attacking Utena Tenjo one after another. Ugh.
What the fuck's that about?
I'm just so excited that the student council are doing things and
Anything.
that we get to see them ride the lift in a new way.
So they're then sitting outside on their favoured balcony.
Yep. And there's a big railway crossing infrastructure next to them. There's the light, there's the boom gate.
It's going off right
Yep.
now, so it's like ding, ding, ding.
And they're basically recapping the arc. Like, I thought the Rose Crest could only be possessed by those chosen by the end of the world. Then the end of the world must be moving without us in the shadows. And then, like, the big invisible train is going past, and there's big wind, and
Very
Nanami is
loud.
shouting over it. If you consider everything that's happened, it makes sense that whoever is acting against us has the backing of end of the world.
And Jury, after the train passes, just like, I didn't hear a fucking
Yeah,
thing
sorry,
you just
didn't
said.
catch any of that.
Literally not. The train was going past. I couldn't hear it. It's just, you know how it goes when a train's going past, and you think to yourself, "Oh, I'll definitely be able to hear this," and then it goes past, and you go, "Fuck."
Hang on, what did you say? You think to yourself when a train is going past, I'll be able to hear this?
Yeah, and then it goes past, and you're like, "Oh shit, didn't hear it."
Shit, didn't hear that damn train.
Ah, fuck! I didn't hear it going past. Ah, well, it'll be safe to cross
Speaking
now.
of trains and
Yeah.
the noises they make,
Yeah.
Utena is outside Nemuro Memorial Hall looking for Choo Choo.
Ooh. Ooh.
Segues, broadcasting.
There you go.
But of course, as we know from the Onion Prince episode,
it's
and
no
I
joke.
can't remember if we actually discussed this on air in the...
In the real app.
Yeah, but they say it's... Or was this with Mickey at another point? Anyway, at some point in this show, they're like, it's not Choo Choo, it's Choo Choo.
And we were sitting there going,
What?
What the fuck are you talking about? But it was something to do with like chew chew or choo choo or something.
I think from various like Pokemon names and shit,
Okay.
Chew or C-U-A, C-H-U, is like the Japanese onomatopoeia for kiss.
Oh.
So it's not choo-choo train noise, it's choo-choo kiss noise. Perhaps that's what it is.
I see.
I don't speak the language. I don't know. Don't at me.
At me.
Yeah, at Milk Juice. Utena's outside Nemuro Memorial Hall looking for
Choo
Choo-choo.
choo. The lovable, dearly beloved, and loving monkey.
Monkey. Not a mouse, a monkey.
Who, most of this episode, is a balloon.
Yes, so I was going to say something incredibly cursed that is unremarked upon for the duration of the episode happens, which is that, oh my god, Shoji Mikage, Utena's secret enemy, is at the top of the stairs being like, is this little guy yours? And he's got Choo Choo.
And Utena's like, oh my god, Choo Choo, you're there.
He's got him by the scruff of his neck being like, I found him in a mousetrap in the kitchen. Oh yeah, he's always causing trouble. And then, for reasons that just don't make any sense,
Ease of animation.
he's holding Choo Choo by the scruff of his neck.
Around the
and
tie.
Then Choo Choo inflates into a balloon like Lanky Kong when standing on a power pad. And then just floats over to Utena's hand, who grabs him like a balloon by the tail. And he stays like that for the rest of the episode.
And the whole time he's just like, Choo Choo, Choo Choo,
I don't
as
think
he
he
used to do.
says or does anything, to be honest.
No, he's just like, Choo.
I feel like this is just like so blatantly being like, oh, we need an excuse for Utena and Shoji to
Mikage.
have a conversation here. Let's just turn it into like a really not abstract, what's the word?
Surreal.
Visual joke.
Yeah, well, I mean, it works. We were both like, what? Huh? What?
And very reminiscent of the shot in Shrek 1, in which Shrek and Fiona blow up some frogs into balloons and hold
yes.
on to them for a while.
The classic. So I thought it was just kind of funny
So did I.
as we were watching it. But now that I look back on it, it is a bit strange that a monkey could inflate himself and float.
With no visible
Deformation.
stimulus to have done so.
Indeed, indeed. It's almost like he's breaking the laws of physics.
Yeah, it's almost like he's a sort of cartoon.
Yeah.
Like a sort of Looney Tune.
And yet, that's not the weirdest thing to happen in this episode.
No, by far. So Shoji Mikage, our enemy, is like, Miss Utena Tenjo, I want you, it's nice to meet you. I've had my eye on you for some time now.
And Utena's like, oh, have you just? Why?
I'm Soji Mikage from the high school section.
Ooh,
Ah.
he's old.
Yeah, he's like 40 probably. We don't know how long ago the flashback in this episode happened, but he's definitely much older than a high schooler.
Is he, though?
Yeah. Mikage.
Liam.
The guy who runs the Mikage seminar.
Liam, is he, though?
And then she looks in the door to Nemuro Memorial Hall and just sees that long dark hallway with cards on it.
But Liam, is he?
We don't know.
We have no confirmation.
Would you like to join the seminar? Oh no, I'm not smart.
Like, the last test that I sat, I was actually sitting because I failed another test. So
It's not about academic prowess, it's about being individualistic. I'm like Ayn Rand. Staunch individualist.
see, I think that I deserve it, and thus I do.
And thus I take it.
Such is my birthright.
And what shall I take? The power of the Rose Bride, though I shan't tell you that. But with the audience's knowledge of dramatic irony, they know that.
And literally every other person in the room is like, oh, fuck off, Ayn Rand.
You have the seminar in this building, right? That's right. Nemuro Memorial Hall, he says. And we get that shot of the 100 dead duelists looking at the camera.
And they all turn around, and then he's sitting somewhat solemnly,
Do you know the story of Nemuro Memorial Hall?
sitting on a step beginning to recap
Yeah.
Never seen this in anything before.
What are you referring to?
Every anime ever.
Oh, okay. The story of the 100 boys that died here is true. You see, there used to be a man called Professor Nemuro. Now, I'm him, but I'm not going to tell you that.
So when we heard that, we went, what?
Yeah, so Soji Mikage is like, I've been calling him Shoji this whole time. How embarrassing. Shut the whole podcast down.
Yeah, right.
Ew.
Okay, now we need to get
We're
the
free.
lights.
We're free. We're free.
What do I do?
So much weekend time, not editing.
Oh my god, do you want to start a podcast?
Yeah.
Oh, sick.
Let's start a podcast about a little anime called JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
Now, I've seen most of it, so can we just start at like part 6?
I've never seen it, so why don't we start from episode 1 and you can show me it.
I like this idea. I like this idea a lot.
We can call it...
Dwell JoJo.
We can call it...
Nick's room. We'll call it Nick's room.
Okay, that makes sense. That's good. That's good. Got SEO.
Yeah, good, not cursed energy.
So he's like, there was a fire here, and he and his 100 students trapped here and burned to death. But then, soon after, they rebuilt Nemuro Memorial Hall.
Hopefully with fire exits.
Yes, we can only hope.
Utena looks up at Nemuro Memorial Hall and is like, oh, all right then. Didn't ask.
Yep. And then she goes to see Akio. Choo-Choo's still a balloon, but Akio is not there.
No Akio in the stargazing.
Then a couple of quick shots of the empty Black Rose Void and the empty Evil Furnace Room and the empty Nemuro Memorial Hall.
Hallway?
Yep. The
empty...
Nemuro Memorial Hallway.
The Nemuro Memorial Hall.
Yes.
Okay.
And then Mikage is in his office. And just sitting there, staring at his photo of Mamiya on his desk.
And he's like, I love that boy.
I sure am evil.
He's just sitting there wearing his uniform, and then we hear a door open.
And he says, oh, it's you. The thing that people say when they get killed off screen in Midsummer Murders.
And then they come back and they're like, oh,
it's you.
It's you. And then get killed again.
And then a man that we know from his striking red shirt and striking dark skin to be Akio walks in and puts a Taskmaster envelope on Mikage's desk.
The end of the world.
Quick black rose pluck.
What?
And I guess we kind of already suspected / knew, but like Akio equals end of the world.
Well, it's not that he equals end of the world, but he's giving the messages from end of the world, and he probably is
So he's
end of the world.
He's either okay. I know I'm getting sick of us talking about Taskmaster on this show.
Yeah.
But I think this analogy works.
Okay.
If end of the world is the Taskmaster.
Yep.
Then, from the context, the information we have now dictates that Akio is either the Taskmaster or the Taskmaster's assistant, little Alex Horn.
The sweet, sweet, supple-skinned, terrified of most objects, Alex Horn.
The question is just whether he is setting the tasks or merely delivering the messages.
I would dare say he's probably just delivering the message. This is my theory.
I disagree.
Well, you're wrong!
So he opens up the envelope, Mikage does, and is like, no, we're only partners in business. I have no reason to obey your orders. Ever since that time. And like shot of the envelope on the desk with his hand with the rose signet ring. And then it's the past. Shot of what I can only assume is an unnamed hall. An unnamed Nemuro Memorial Hall.
I think it's probably just Nemuro Hall at this point.
Why would it be Nemuro Hall?
Because it's his hall.
But Professor Nemuro has only just arrived.
What? Who's Professor Nemuro?
Mikage is Professor Nemuro. We see a man who is blatantly Mikage, but some dialogue is like... I was so distracted by the fact that they talked about Professor Nemuro that I missed this bonkers line. It doesn't vanish immediately, does it, Professor Nemuro? The Snow Professor.
Oh, in the room.
No, just outside.
Oh. And so we see Mikage.
Just walking up to the respected professor and being like, hey, the snow melts after some time, doesn't it?
Wait, he doesn't... No, he says the snow doesn't melt.
It doesn't vanish immediately, does it, Professor Nemuro? The Snow Professor. Professor Nemuro, the Snow Professor.
Yeah. Nemuro looks behind him. He's wearing glasses, so he's clearly a different person.
He's got blue...
cool sunglasses.
It's kind of like the sort of... I'm not saying this is the case, because it's almost certainly just a stylistic thing, but it's the kind of blue translucent glasses, transparent glasses that you wear to read when you have dyslexia.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So it's like that same translucent, like red or blue kind of... like
Well, definitely
see-through-
blue in this case.
Yeah, definitely blue. It's
And
like the kind of blue.
He wears what I would describe as an ugly purple suit.
It's like the kind of suit that my ex-wife wore to the divorce hearings.
You don't need to
Disturbed.
call me professor. We're the same age. Oh no, with a genius like you with us, that's fine. I'm fine to talk you up. No, it's cool. Anyway, so what's the deal with this unnamed hall and all the secrecy they have here? Oh, well, I hear that they're researching how to revolutionize the world. Or
Oh?
how to attain eternity.
Oh, whatever could that mean? No.
Don't know.
No one knows yet, but me and Liam know the fucking answer.
No, we don't.
I mean, to a certain degree, I would say we do.
So basically, they talk at length. Like we get a little flashback exposition about how Professor Nemuro, aka Soji Mikage, is here to research.
How to revolutionize the world? Question mark.
Like he's working on a project. I don't know if it's that project.
Yeah.
Because they talk about like he's the one in the adjacent room is
Yeah.
rumored to be revolutionizing the world.
But is it something that feeds into that?
Highly secretive research, at
Yeah,
any rate.
yeah.
And they also talk about how he's a genius and like a human computer because he doesn't engage with people.
Oh, he's like me.
Yeah, sure, I wasn't going to say it.
No empathy.
Hey!
All research.
And Professor Nemuro turns to this guy and is like, hey, why is everyone wearing those rose signet rings?
Oh, well, it's just the fashion trend right now.
As was
It's
the
very-
style at the time.
It's very cool. Everyone's doing it. Why don't you have one?
Not yet.
Nerd.
And they're all like, he's a weird guy, but we'll just take advantage of him.
And he has a monologue to himself that's like, yes, I did back then hate everyone.
I did be like a human computer.
I was a dry man living a dry life. Little did I know that the ocean of hope, which would whet my appetite, was so far away.
And while he's talking in his brain, we see a one of those carts that symbolize death. It's pushing along one of the
Dead boys?
it's one of in the walls in the evil furnace room. There are those the body chutes have those rose sigils on them.
Yeah, the coffins.
Yes, well, body chutes.
But the coffins are the things in the body.
But I don't think they're coffins. Like they're those things like in a morgue where you pull out the tray.
Which I'm sure would not be a coffin unless it was some kind of box. Some sort of human-sized box.
I don't think it's a coffin.
And
but
then-
we're splitting hairs. I don't really give a shit.
Yeah, it's a big box that people are stored in.
And anyway, it's one of those on the cart under a sheet.
Yeah.
We just see the sigil on the end.
Just enough to know what it is.
He walks into his office and there's a woman there.
A woman at a university?
In the past? Well, I never.
Excuse me. So she's there being like, hello. I'm from the board.
You're the head researcher, right? I'm from the board.
Oh, you're from the board, are
The
you?
board, hey?
Oh, the board. Who the
She's
fuck are you?
their current inspector. Here to check up on the research, I guess.
Oh,
Her
that's
name
bad news.
Is Tokiko Cheetah.
Ah, cheetah, you say. So we then get a shot of an hourglass, which has time passing through it.
The hourglass has time in it.
Now, is that some kind of what's the not foreshadowing?
Symbolism?
Yeah, some kind of symbol.
Sure. And also,
Yes.
it is also relevant to the scene at hand because she talks about how her tea is weaker than usual, even though she's been steeping it for the usual amount of time. Can an hourglass run slow, she asked? Why? Only if time stands still as I fall in love with you right now.
Or you're further away from a black hole than someone else.
She's got on her sweater. I'm just not going to ignore that. I'm just not going to acknowledge that.
All of the physics nerds right now are like, he fucking
I mean,
gets
I
it.
understand.
He gets it.
I get it.
Yeah, I saw Interstellar.
Yeah.
It
She's
was
got
bad.
on her sweater a 4-leaf clover icon.
Okay.
Don't know what that means, but notably distinct from all the other rose iconography everywhere in the show. And I guess that maybe that's a symbol of like how she is not like these people. And we see at the end of the episode, back in the present, she has left this cursed place.
She's one of the lucky ones.
She's moved on.
Yeah. 4 leaves on a clover, lucky? She's the lucky one?
Maybe.
Luck, maybe?
She does think her child is dead, though.
Okay, maybe less lucky.
Or brother.
Yeah. Now, I guess maybe she's just kind of... She's not really a recurring character after
She
this
isn't-
episode.
I mean-
I assume she must just be like a one-off to be all like, oh yeah, by the way, here's the backstory.
He's got pathos.
Yeah. I don't know what that means.
Okay. Throughout this sequence, there's these little hands that we talked about. They're just pointing at things.
Ah, yes, the Monty
and
Python
it's like
hands.
blink, blink, blink. Monty Python hands?
Monty Python hands. The ones that you see in the Monty Python things that like...
Oh,
poke
the little animated sequences?
Yeah.
Right.
So they look like them a bit, but they're very obviously the same hands on the Nemuro Memorial Hall this away poster things.
Pointing at her tea kettle, pointing at the framed butterfly, which we also see in the evil therapy room in the present.
Yep.
And she's like a sort of rose tea, and then repeatedly pointing at an ever-increasing amount of cats outside the window as they talk. What does that symbolize?
No one fucking knows.
And yeah, I'm gonna have to dwell on that one a bit, I think.
Yeah, I'm thinking it's either just like a red herring that they were just like, you know what? Fuck it. Let's just chuck in some hands.
Let's just chuck in some fucking hands to mess with people. I mean, like I get some of the later ones very obviously, and we'll get to those when we get to them.
Oh shit! I thought. Oh, okay. All right. Very well.
Maybe it is like emphasizing like how much he noticed her on their first meeting.
Or maybe it's the
Because I
similarities.
think they've got some kind of dynamic or attraction. I might be reading into that, but that's what I'm picking up on. And I wonder if, like, it's, I remember when I first met her, the cats were there, the butterfly on the wall.
Or what if it's
tea.
What if it's to point out the visual inconsistencies that viewers might not have noticed the first time they saw the 8 fights beforehand? You know, where it's like scene by scene, it doesn't point at the same thing, but it's the same place that it points at. Right? So like first there's 1 cat, we go away, we come back, he points again, now there's 2. We go away, we come back, now there's 3.
Oh, it's like baby's first, like, abstract symbolism.
Exactly. And then
Even
later,
though we can't figure it out.
and then later it's a butterfly, we go away, we come back, it's a leaf. Maybe it's to point it out, literally. I don't know. It's a very weird hand thing.
They talk about how genius is a gift from God.
And then I think what's his face is like, people don't understand. They should be grateful with what God gave them anyway.
Why are you working on this job? Oh, purely business reasons. Though I think I've already done more than my fair share, he says.
Ooh.
You see, we've assembled 100 extraordinary boys here at Atori Academy. And then flash of all these boys walking up the stairs and, for no discernible reason, the hand pointing at one of their butts.
Oh, I thought that was her. Oh, I guess that doesn't make any sense.
That's one of 100 boys.
Yeah. Yeah, what if that's Miyami? The rose
Mamiya.
Mamiya.
It's not.
Damn it. Oh well.
I don't think he's one of the 100 extraordinary boys.
He's
Case in point because he's alive after all the 100 boys died.
He's a regular ordinary boy.
Yeah. You can tell because of how he behaves and how he lives in a room with no light.
Yeah.
Yeah, attaining eternity. It sounds like we're building a perpetual motion machine. Ha 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 ha.
And then she doesn't laugh.
And she's like, people should be grateful for what God gave them and not try to reach eternity. Excuse me for a moment. My sick child or brother or whatever is over there. I'm going to go speak to him.
So she leaves the room.
Okay, so yes, this. We get, like, in this scene now, and then at least one or two more later in the episode, shots of this tea cup that she has set down and the smear of her lipstick on the rim. And I think that is like her presence lingering. Oh, and finger pointing at it. I think that is like her presence lingering even after she's gone in his mind.
Okay.
That's my read.
And then what is that one?
That's a transition.
Yeah, the transition one that points to empty space.
That's just a transitional shot to now we're over here. Mamiya, I told you to spend all day resting. And young Mamiya is there in a purple bathrobe. But I'm worried about the roses. Because I'm like, I want to be the rose bride in the present.
But you can't be the rose bride.
You're a boy.
You're the rose groom.
And she says, what I hate most are people who don't care about themselves. And then Mikage's in the garden and they're all very angry.
And she's like, I'm sorry you had to witness this, but I'm not. Why are you here?
And then he's left alone with Mamiya, who is her brother.
Very young for a brother of that lady, I would
Speak on that.
Well, how old is she? Like 20-something?
We don't know how old any of these people are.
True. And man, we do not know how old they are in the present day.
No, it's doubly so.
Yeah, so he looks extremely young, the rose groom. Like, extremely
He's
young.
a legit child right now.
Yeah, whereas later on, he looks like the same age as Mikage, right?
Yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah, so this is, it's a bit odd to me.
It's like, wow, I've heard about you. I respect your work because I read your paper. My sister is also...
Respectable.
She also respects you. We all respect each other.
Hooray! I only respect you and my sister, if that's important in any way.
Then after an ad break, she's giving him an injection. That is to say...
An injection, yes.
What's her name? Cheetah, is
Cheetah,
it?
yep.
Is giving Mamiya an injection for medicine because he is a sick little boy.
Oh, he's a sick little boy.
I like it when you give me an injection, he says.
Inject me harder, sister.
She says, don't say such silly things, naughty boy. And that, like, I don't know what's going on there. That response makes me think that maybe there was some double entendre there or something.
I'm pretty sure it was from a more innocent age, you know?
In this show?
Yeah, it was made, what, 2000?
In this show where all the brothers and sisters want to sleep with each other?
We don't know that. You and her are the only people I respect. Oh, that's nice. Yeah, I want to sleep with her.
You know, we both read your paper and then we saw you from across the bar. Are you down to have a good time?
Tell me, have you ever fucked someone you didn't respect? No? Well, guess how I feel. Oh, man.
So Cheetah is anxious because of her sick brother, and like maybe even though she scoffed at the research earlier, now she's like, what if you attain eternity and it cures my brother? No, it's not medicine. It won't do that. But what if it does?
What if?
And then she's sad.
She's crying. She's like, I'm sorry you had to see that. And he's all like...
I almost feel like this is the first time I've seen a person cry.
And then he just walks out.
Yep.
That's literally all he does.
Oh, he's like a human computer.
Oh, classic.
Perhaps it's not possible for a genius to love another person, she says.
And he goes,
Yep.
You're probably right about that. And then he continues walking out the room and he's gone.
Yep.
There's a tree outside. It's dead. He's talking to some boys.
Yeah, get an exposition about how he's been working really hard lately to complete the research. I'm just skipping ahead.
Talking to her, and they're all like, "Oh my god, he's working so hard lately."
Oh my god!
Yeah, isn't that the lady inspector?
But he still doesn't know what it's all for.
Doesn't he know?
Then it's later. Time has passed, and relationships have grown. And Mamiya is sitting in the snow having tea with Professor Mikage. Which is to say, Professor Nemuro, aka Soji Mikage, the boy genius.
Yeah, and Nemuro is like, wow, the snow really doesn't melt in here, huh?
Yeah, wow.
Really takes a long time
I
to
thought of
vanish.
that myself, he says. No, he doesn't.
But I wish he did. They have a very brief conversation
It's like, yeah, my sister's not here. No, I came to see you. We've got a burgeoning relationship. My sister made these sugar-preserved roses and these dried flowers. She hates to see flowers die, but isn't it worse to artificial... Like, it's clearly a metaphor for, like, the
Immortality
medicine and the medicine to keep him alive despite his presumably fatal sickness.
Yeah, so...
Like, is it worth living along in that dried-out state? Oh.
At the time, I thought it was just being literal, but now it makes a lot more sense why we're talking about dry flowers.
Yeah.
So he's all like...
Once again, I deeply respect you both.
Yeah, I think...
So crucially, it's a dodge.
Yeah, so Nemuro's all like, hey...
What? You don't think we'll succeed, do you?
Yeah, you think we're going to fail at this research? And he goes, I deeply respect both you and my sister. And Nemuro's like, well then, fuck it, I'm leaving. All right, sure. Good seeing you, I guess.
I'll tell my sister you're worried about me.
Yeah, do that.
It's his office. There's a teacup.
With her lipstick on.
So, like, is
with pointing fingers.
That's never the same cup. That's like they've got an ongoing acquaintanceship.
Unless it
and yet
is?
she still lingers in her absence. And then, oh my god, the hand of Akio Otori.
Also, you assume.
I assume with like 95% confidence.
I'm like
hands
60.
him a Taskmaster envelope. Mikage is, aka Nemuro, is like, outsiders aren't allowed here. He's like, I'm no outsider. This is the first step towards the power to revolutionize the world. You have no choice to revolutionize the world.
Nemuro has a read of the document and is like, what the hell? This is outrageous.
My time starts now. I can't possibly complete this unspecified task on this piece of paper. He hands him a duelist ring.
And he's all like, what the hell is that?
The ring everyone here wears. Yep, now you got one.
So it's actually to represent that everyone here has read and signed my contract, which you too will do, right?
I don't know if it's that literal. Wearing the ring represents a contract made with Akio. Not necessarily paperwork.
Reading and signing. Yeah, but in theory, if we had enough time...
It's like how in the... overrated role-playing game Dungeons and Dragons.
Okay, yeah.
How a warlock class member will have a contract with a patron, but that's not necessarily a written document.
Okay, alright, sure. I'm playing a warlock right now, but that's fine. Not a subtle jab at my boy.
No, it wasn't.
Damn. Genuine. Alright. authentic.
Okay, maybe you're right. That's insane. What contracts? Why have all these contractees been brought together? Unless you really are. He really is just you.
Yeah, I know. But this is why I've been saying so. He's like a human computer. I'm like, oh, it's like me.
So this is Akio being a stone cold psychopath again, and also like real Kiryu moves because Mikage / Nemuro is like, even if we do attain eternity, it won't make her happy. And like shot of, we don't see it's Akio, but like
you assume it's Akio.
His face from the just beneath the eyes down. Her, you say, and then he leaves the ring in her teacup. And leaves.
I think the two things that he says are, you have no other option but to revolutionize the world, or your only option is to revolutionize the world. But as he's leaving, I think he says the other bit where it's like everything has been...
Oh, he also says, if you desire eternity, put it on your finger.
But he also...
then the path you must take has been prepared for you.
Yes.
So then, and like it's like, we don't see him leave. Like it's a shot of him near the door, and then a shot of Nemuro, and then like reverse shot back to the door, and he's gone. So like Nemuro's out looking in the hall for him. And like I said, real Kiryu power move vibes, because he stalks through the darkened corridors, passing a black rose on the floor, and it's Mrs. Cheetah making out with Akio.
Just in the room where Mikage and Mickey were talking.
Yeah, with all the rose pillars and stained glass windows.
Yeah.
That doesn't really narrow it down at this school.
No. It could be fucking anywhere. But they are hella making out.
Yep.
And Mikage's like,
I guess I do have to revolutionize the world.
This is my only option.
And then Nemuro Memorial Hall is on fire, and Miss Cheetah is yelling at Mamiya for doing it. You did this? Why did you do this? They had a contract. You see, ancient creatures died and gave us fossil fuels, and so too must these boys die to give us eternity.
And so Nemuro's just explaining all of this, walking up to them. It was like,
we're all standing right next to a burning building.
And he's like, Mamiya did the right thing, okay? If our energy-based society was to continue growing, we needed the dinosaurs to die. If we are going to revolutionize the world, the boys need to die.
And they did.
Are you catching my drift here?
And then it's back in the present. And he's looking at his new envelope, being like, And then the woman in the present, she's got long hair now, so we know time has passed.
Ooh.
She leaves some roses on what we learn later is what she thinks is Mamiya's grave.
Ooh.
Hey, he could be a ghost. We don't know.
We don't know. He could be a figment of Mikage's personality.
Yeah.
Lingering inside a metaphorical hall. A memorial hall.
Much like how the Sky Prince might be a figment of Akio's personality.
Or, like in Killer 7, how the 7 personalities of Harmon live on in Garcian Smith.
Sure.
Because he killed the 7 killers, and now he lives on with them inside him.
So it really struck us today just how much young Mamiya in the flashbacks looked like Sky Prince in the castle.
Like a lot,
Yeah.
a lot.
So what is going on there?
Just long, exasperated sigh of just like, yeah, so he looks like him.
Did he die and like...
Split in two?
Yeah, one aspect of his personality went to heaven, the Sky Castle, and one aspect of his personality went to hell, the underground Black Rose Chamber.
Akio's talking to good Mamiya, but Mikage's talking to bad boy Mamiya.
I mean, we don't know.
We don't know. This show could be anything.
And how does Anthe figure in?
God. What if Anthe is like the new Mamiya? Right? It's like reincarnated, but like bound to her.
So
her fleshy form is controlled by both. Oh.
Miss Cheetah gets the Shadow Puppet play this episode, which is about Shadow Girl is being a robot, and then someone being like, aha, I've built a robot. And the robot's like, I'm a robot, I catch monkeys.
And she's like, yes, you will never feel pain.
Yes, I will catch many monkeys. You will never be alone. Yes, I will be around all the monkeys I catch.
You will never feel sorrow.
Monkeys.
Just a lot of monkeys.
And then the punchline that she says, Miss Cheetah says, but it breaks my heart to see you like this now, because she just walked past Mikage in the hall. And then she's talking to Akio, who she has previously made out with.
Oh, drama.
And Akio doesn't turn to her, but he does say, oh, it's you. Yeah, and then she shoots him in the head off screen.
So she basically says, I just saw Professor Nemuro before.
Yeah.
Hasn't aged a day.
Much like you.
Me in real life.
Akio.
Oh.
Interspersed with interspersed with shots of Mikage watching
Utena and Anthe in the
Utena
greenhouse.
finally picking up the Rose Bride thread again, being like, hey, you don't need to do what this mysterious guy, end of the world presumably, tells you. And she's like, yeah, I do. I'm the Rose Bride.
Why don't you be yourself,
Don't be
though?
stupid.
I hate people not taking care of themselves.
And he's watching, and it reminds him of when Miss Cheetah said it to Mamiya.
Ooh,
Ah.
all those years ago.
Yep.
He can see time repeating itself. Just like in Killer 7.
So then, this conversation, just like in No More Heroes,
Just like in Sherlock Holmes.
just like in Nier Automata.
Just like
I thought that was a good one.
actually, that is a good one,
Yeah.
actually. That's yeah, fair enough. Just like in 12 Monkeys.
Utena's a no, not Utena.
Anthe is a
robot.
robot who collects monkeys. Oh my god.
So yes, Takiko Chida and Akio Otori are like, wow, he hasn't aged a bit since then. Neither have you. Yep. And Akio says yes.
Very
For as
prominently.
long as people stay in these gardens called schools, they will never grow up. It's a real like sort of Neverland situation.
Oh. Does he mean literally, or does he just mean, yeah, as long as they're here, they'll never grow
Well,
up?
I guess it's like a sort of Arrested Development situation in a spiritual sense. Like, as long as you're here chasing this eternity, you'll never
You'll never actually
live a fulfilling
actualize
life
or-
of your own.
Yeah.
But also, they haven't physically aged since this flashback. That was
So
long ago.
it's probably literal
Yes.
as well.
I feel like this is the kind of show where things that are
Said literally.
metaphorical can be expressed physically.
Yeah, okay, I can see that. I can see. Just like the train stop, just like the big floating upside down castle. Something's up.
And then there was a line that we puzzled over for quite a while we were setting up as the sky room
Yep, the observatory or whatever.
turns on. Say, you must know, don't you, that for a plant to bear fruit, its flowers have to die. Rose pluck.
Missing truth and forever. Something, something to your heart. Something, 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 something.
Yep, that's the end credits of this show. Nick, highlights and lowlights in this episode.
My highlight would probably
Nick is pointing with each word in different directions.
be the reunion between Akio and Cheetah, when Akio says, as long as they remain in these gardens we call school.
Yeah, it was nice
like,
to just
ooh.
finally have a conversation between two people who know what's going on.
Yeah. But it gave me that real kind of like, we both know what's happening here. But we're not, like, it's going according to plan, or they're both kind of chill about it. And I was like, ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh, okay. Something.
And she's like, I've walked away from this because of personal tragedy in my life.
Yeah.
Because my brother died, allegedly.
But it was very neat to be like, time. That's interesting.
That sure is time.
That sure is time for you to pick your highlight.
My
coward.
highlight was to finally see the student council be like, we should probably look into this.
Oh, man.
It was just like a really good, like, high energy sequence to open the episode.
It
too.
was.
Like, and also just like the relief of them finally having that conversation.
Dude, everything in this episode was like, oh my god. Oh my god, what?
And lowlights.
My low light is probably Akio giving him the task. I didn't really answer the question of, so he hasn't seen him since that contract. Oh, great. So why did he do it? It's like, we don't know why he did it. Okay, I'm back in, baby. So we still don't know why everyone's on this contract. And it's like...
For eternity. They're all chasing eternity, and no one really knows what that means.
But it's just like, okay.
Seems to me that Miss Cheetah seemed to think it was the power to save a life or immortality. Kiryu wanted like
Power.
unlimited power, lightning.
Yeah, but like he just...
Sayonji wanted to live forever in the Sky Palace with Anthe.
But it's like, I thought that Mikage had an end game, but the end game is someone else's end game.
Yeah, he's as stupid as everyone else, it seems.
Yeah.
Well, I guess his thing, like, we know his whole deal, this arc, is like working outside the established processes we knew about to subvert them for his own ends. So, presumably, if whatever this leads to happens with Anthe, Akio is assuming that will be bent to his ends.
Yes.
And by, killing Anthe and replacing them with Mamiya, Mikage wants to do it towards their ends instead.
Yep.
But just because we don't know what that thing is, that thing called eternity,
Yes.
it's too vague for us to...
I don't know if I liked just Oh, it's probably Archeo, but is it Archeo? It probably is. But then who's the end game master? Who's pulling the strings?
I don't necessarily think that was meant to
Answer the questions.
No, I don't think that was meant to be a mystery to us, the audience, whether or not that was Archeo, because it so blatantly was.
Oh, yeah.
It was more like, in the start of the Onion Prince episode, where we didn't see anyone's eyes or face until, clarity was had. So to, Utena and Co., the identity of this mastermind is still a mystery. So, of course, we, the audience, are not allowed to see him, even though we can obviously tell who it is.
Yeah, I didn't like it. I didn't like that bit. But interesting nonetheless.
My low light is it just wasn't really clear enough to me why the hall burnt.
Well, because Mamiya set fire to it.
So that...
the snow would melt. You gotta warm up the grounds.
Did whatever was in this... did the envelope that Nemuro got... command that they burn the school, or was it burnt to avoid having to do that?
No. It was like an Inspector Gadget deal, right? He gets the letter...
this letter will self-destruct. He threw it in a bin full of flammable materials.
Exactly.
Bada bing, bada burn.
There goes the hall.
That unnamed hall. Rest in peace.
That unnamed Nemuro
We should build
Memorial
a memorial to that unnamed hall.
We'll name it Unnamed Nemuro Memorial Hall. Of course.
So simple.
So elegant.
Nick.
Yes.
The last Black Rose.
Nemuro.
AKA Mikage. He's trying to ally himself with Utena, apparently. And I can see a link there, from his perspective. Utena also is not a huge fan of this whole dueling situation, even though they've been at cross purposes so far, though she doesn't know it.
Weird that at the end they're like, so, you want to ally with Utena now? And it's like, what?
Well, no, that didn't happen in the episode.
Oh, but it was weird. There was a weird vibe going on.
When he was watching from the shadows.
Yes.
What will happen next time in what I think... just based on future episode titles, what I think might be the final episode of the Black Rose arc.
No, but we only just started.
It's episode 23, so this is either the final one or there'll be two more with a joke episode in between. That's where I'm at.
Excellent.
What will happen next time on episode 23, Qualifications of a Duelist.
Ooh. Well, I guess the question is, will Mikage fight himself? Or will he fight himself?
I think that Utena and Mikage will fight with swords in the Sky Duel Arena. Or alternatively, the Evil Furnace Room.
I mean, that's possible. What if her and Mamiya fight?
Why would that be the case?
Mamiya would be like, I'm willing to lay my life down for the cause, Mikage.
No, because in terms of their designs... Mamiya, and also their roles in the story, Mamiya and
I know.
Mikage are inversions of Anthe and Utena, so I feel like it's got to be Mikage versus Utena.
But what if the inversion inverts itself?
No, because the goal is for Mamiya to become the Rose Bride.
Yeah. So then he does the fighting.
I don't know if that's the rules.
I don't know either. There are no rules in this show.
Well, there are explicitly rules, it's just that we don't know them and they don't matter.
It's just
all the information's on the task.
Hey, wait, so am I the Rose Groom? All the information's on the task. Yeah, but I don't know. I think Mikage won't fight.
I think he will.
I don't think he personally will fight. I think Mikage will just be like, he either just goes, there's no point fighting.
He's got a ring. He's got a dual ring. He's got a fight.
He's got a signet ring.
Mamiya doesn't have a signet ring.
But at the same time...
But they do have access to 94 more Black Rose rings, I guess.
Oh, God.
Mikage shows up to the dueling arena with
96 rings.
Yeah, 9 rings on each finger or whatever.
And he's just like, the qualifications
powerful.
It's like the qualifications of a duelist are that you should have 1 ring. What would they say about a man with 90?
Or what if he melts down all the remaining rings into a sword?
Into a super sword.
Yeah.
Have you ever fought against boys before?
The strength of 90 boys.
It's like, wow, his sword's really powerful.
Yes. Yeah. It was forged in the fire that burnt these boys alive.
He goes underneath Nemuro Memorial Hall just a bit deeper and finds their remains, all coagulated into a perfect organic sword. Yeah.
Yep.
So I don't reckon that's going to happen. I reckon.
But I think they're going to have a sword fight and that Utena will win.
I reckon there might not be a sword fight.
When she defeats him, he'll be like, Yes, I respect you now, and I'm leaving forever now, but beware of Akio Otori.
Ooh. So he'll have like a warning message?
Yeah,
Because I would have thought that he would just be like, hey,
fuck you.
I'm out forever. I'm done with this shit.
I'm out for eternity.
Yeah, I'm gone. All right, you and me, we're fine. Okay.
And now I walk into the evil furnace.
What if he walks away, but Mamiya's like,
I'll never give up.
yeah, it's like I believed in you. What if they fight? Ooh.
They won't.
I mean, they probably won't, but I mean, I reckon he's not going to fight, but he's going to have some moment where he's like,
Then what's the conflict that resolves the arc then, Nick?
it will be him going to Akio and being all like, I'm done. And Akio will be like, I thought we had a contract.
So not really a...
Not fighting conflict.
Even though in this very episode he was like, I'm done, I don't take orders from you.
Yeah, and then he like goes up to Akio's like, I'm done. And then Akio's like, well then, I can't let you leave, can I?
Well then, to motivate you, I'll just have to make out with this woman again. And then Mikage sees that and is like, I have to kill the Rose Bride.
But it's got to be something like Akio will just be like, we signed a contract. He's like, yeah, well, I'm done with that contract. It's like, great. And then he's just like pulls out dagger. It's a shame that you had to rip up the contract, boy. And then stab him. Utena finds his dead body and is like, what is going on?
Who was this guy? I only met him once.
Yeah, and it's like, someone died?
No one has died in this show.
Yeah, he'll be the first death.
Wow.
The only.
I mean, other than those 100 boys, I guess.
Yeah, fair enough, yeah.
Okay, let's wrap it up.
Cool.
JoJo's World.
If you've enjoyed this episode, you can support us financially over at www.patreon.com/JoJo's World.
Until next time,
To be
continued.